What is going on, Crisis Actors? It is episode 1072 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I hope you guys are all cool, calm, and collected on this Friday afternoon. I am here with my co-host, who should be cool, calm, and collected. Introduce yourself.
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. I am cool as a cucumber on this lovely Friday. A little caught off guard, though. We always get lost in a conversation like 2 minutes before going live, and that's exactly what happened this time. But yeah, I am happy to be here and celebrate the this Friday with all of you.
Yes, exactly. Guys, we have a
nice
bunch.
Day.
It is. Well, here's the thing. It's let me actually.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't have said that. It's not nice for you because
90.
you don't have AC.
Yes.
Never mind.
It's 90 here. There is like some. They have not fixed the AC yet, but
I'm
I do
here just
have.
luxuriating in my air-conditioned apartment, having a great time, and you're melting. So
yeah, I've got two fans on me today. I've got my fan, and then I've got Olivia's fan that normally sits
and all of the
over
fans watching,
and all
right?
of you guys at home.
So many fans.
Keeping
we have
this cool.
a $20 super chat, by the way. I don't want to forget to get to this one from Shane H. Wilder. Happy Friday and Solemnity of the Sacred Heart, Brett and Mary. A quick announcement. On Sunday, I'm dropping a Days in the Lifestyle mini doc on this year's CCC. You both make a cameo for some comic relief. I'll tag y'all. I'm not entirely sure what CCC means.
Christian Creator Conference.
Oh, I should have
Catholic. I'm sorry,
Catholic Creator Conference. Got it. Because I was thinking, like, does this have something to do with the Catechism of the Catholic Church? Because that would be a CCC. But
is there a Protestant Creator Conference?
Well, the thing is, even just the fact that you have to clarify that it's the Catholic Creator Conference implies that there are less of us than of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Protestants ran a convention for, Christian influencers, they would just call it Christian influencers or something.
Okay.
They wouldn't say Protestant in the name. They also, a lot of Protestants don't really embrace the label of being Protestant. Some of them do proudly and other ones don't like it. So
wait, what do they prefer instead? Just to be called Christian?
Like whatever their denomination is. Like if they identify as Baptist or Methodist or whatever, instead of the umbrella of just being not Catholic, they would rather be known as like their denomination, I think.
On more than one occasion, when we first started working together, I had to like point out to you, I'm like, I don't think like many people who have like, unless you're somebody who was steeped in religion growing up, like beyond just maybe doing holidays at church, like wouldn't know the difference between, Protestant and Catholic. Like I didn't know what that meant. Like,
I've definitely met some people who didn't like grow up in the South or whatever, like in maybe New England region, who thought that it was all the same because they only knew Catholic Christians. Yes. They equivocated it with all Christians are Catholic because of the region they were from. And then in the South, they don't grow up around many Catholics, so they assume it's all like evangelical.
I remember the first time I started watching the show Murdoch Mysteries. I think one of the plot lines of the show is that the main character is like a Catholic in I don't know what, if it was the 1800s or whenever it was. And it was like he was kind of not liked in his area because he wasn't a Protestant. Maybe I have that backwards, but I believe
there used to be significant, anti-Catholic bigotry.
Yeah.
There still is, but mostly it's online now.
There you go. Guys, before we get started, as always, hit the like button on this episode. Subscribe to the channel, perhaps, if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. Share the episode out with everybody that you know. The more people that you share the show with, the faster the channel can grow, and we would really appreciate that. And then go argue with people in the comments section. That is a great way to help us out. Also, just a heads up, and I will give a heads up at the end of the show as well, that tomorrow I will be doing a PCC Discord event at 7 p.m. There'll be a stage for that. Olivia will make sure that stuff is all set up, and we will do that from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I went through last night and troubleshot troubleshot my mic, which I had to fix. The bit rate was off because I did a bunch of driver updates. So that looks to be solved. So we should be doing that tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the Timcast Discord. Go in there. Also check out the PCC section of the Timcast Discord. I try to get in there and post when I can. Also, a big deal. We did hit 49K on Rumble, which means we should be getting to 50K here in short order, which is a big deal over there, which is very, very cool. So if you are not yet, if you're only subscribed on YouTube, don't be shameless with us. Don't just subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Rumble as well and help us grow our platform over there.
Send the bot farms.
Exactly. So what are we getting into today? We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. One is that Mary just really doesn't like Taylor Swift. So we're going to talk about how Mary just really
to be honest,
like,
that's it. That's the tweet. You know?
I'm not gonna lie. I came down on the opposite side of this issue, mainly because it not inherently out of a contrarian take, but it just maybe it is. Sure. Maybe it is. It just felt like it's actually tied.
Let her enjoy things.
Yeah,
Mary.
like it's tied a little bit to my support for people going to sporting events and supporting sports, which can be a bit of an issue here in these circles. You know, they call it sports ball and say that
This is how she acts.
I know.
Like everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a sports game or an award show or whatever, a talk show. She's always just flipping out and just, it's too much. She is too much.
Your critique is valid. I'm just letting you know how I got to my position a little bit there. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about Taylor Swift annoying everybody.
I'm already like losing my temper myself. So.
We will talk about Taylor Swift annoying everybody when she was at the Knicks game like 2 nights ago. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about Clavicular. He destroyed his nose. I couldn't even tell the difference, but everybody else could. So we'll get into him in the search for perfection. He has brought about to himself very much pain, misery, and derision. We're also going to talk about the sequel to The Social Network, which seems to be a little bit doomed from the beginning. Couldn't even get.
Did you watch the trailer?
No, I didn't watch the original movie.
Oh, you didn't?
I couldn't care less about the creation of Facebook.
But they do it in such an entertaining way. Like, I don't really even care if the events in the movie are accurate.
What year did it get made?
It came out in 2010.
Are you kidding me? 2010. I'm going to go find a list of all the movies in 2010 that I watched.
You have to watch it. It is so good. Like, actually.
So,
I don't care if it's historically accurate. It's just entertaining. The problem this time is that it's like sanctimonious and self-serious. And guys, you should watch the trailer, like not right now.
Yeah.
Because it's really like laughably bad. The trailer is incredibly gray and somber and just like sanctimonious. Really bad. I feel like I've imbibed a certain amount of the movie just from memes and in shorts over the years.
Like it's actually one of those movies that's highly like memed in short form YouTube content. You know, it's got the music, it's got the self-serious music, the techno.
The line about the flip-flops?
Whatever. It's that in Andrew Garfield breaking the laptop.
My FU flip-flops. Yeah. Like there's so many lines like that. It was written really well. The problem is they just put the writer in the director's chair this time and it's not panning out so well.
So we'll talk about it. We're also going to talk about the fact that America as a whole is currently corrupting all of Europe as they come to the United States of America and they become addicted to our incredible fast food here.
Don't you love that morbid obesity is our main cultural export?
We send it to you, the rest of the world. So like we send you an overt sense of confidence and fat people. That's what we've got to offer the world. All right. If you are ready to go, we can go. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go for it then.
So guys, Millie Bobby Brown cannot catch a break and neither can her husband. It seems a large swath of the internet is dedicated to convincing Millie Bobby Brown to divorce her Nepo baby husband for being lazy, inconsiderate, and misogynistic. All assumptions that they have made based on paparazzi photos and videos. More recently, I think, since adopting their child, they've been on multiple family outings where Millie seems to be bearing most of the burden of carrying all of their stuff. Now, I can't say from firsthand experience that all of it is necessary, but there are a lot of like parenting products that people are obsessed with now that seem totally unnecessary. And if you asked your own parents, like, hey, did you have a device for, I don't know, warming like the wipes, the like, baby wipes when you were a first time parent? They'd be like, what the F are you talking about? So that's just my first thought is like, there's a lot of accoutrements and maybe you shouldn't be carrying that much in the first place. But there were these damning paparazzi photos of the couple from multiple different outings where Jake Bon Jovi, of course, a Nepo baby who has never known any struggle in his life, is strolling casually behind his wife, Millie, who is not only pushing the stroller, but has the diaper bag and just countless bags, lots of things containing other things. I don't know what all of it is. But she here, and in most of these photos of them, is carrying all the shit. So her fans were deeply offended by this on her behalf, thinking, how dare he leave her in the lurch like that to bear the burden of all of this weight when she is a new mom. And he is clearly just a lazy piece of shit Nepo baby who has no responsibility. And even from the beginning of their relationship, honestly, this is kind of a tone that like they're not ready. They don't know what they're getting into. They don't understand the gravity of the commitment that they've made with getting married so young, with adopting so young. And a lot of people just basically saying this was a massive mistake and that she should run. But Millie Bobby Brown has seen these comments. I don't think it was the best idea for her to admit that she was reading all of this negative stuff about her family online in the first place. But she made an appearance on Jason Kelsey's wife's podcast. Didn't know that existed. And she took that opportunity and that platform to white knight for her husband, Jake, and explained her side of the story. So let's hear it from her. Basically, I'll like summarize it for you. She pulled the feminism card on everyone and was like, if you think that my husband isn't doing enough to help our family, then you're a bad feminist and you don't believe in female empowerment.
It's quite an Uno reverse. Let's listen.
Crazy, right?
Hi, I'm Millie Bobby Brown, and I'm not gonna lie, when did women become incapable of holding their own bags, car seats, and stuff? This stems from me holding all of my suitcases and bags and my kids, and people are like, your husband doesn't hold a single thing. And I'm like, because I'm 3 miles ahead. I have been planning this all night. We're all about empowering girls. And like, you got it. You don't need a man. But then when I'm like, okay, I can carry my own things, people are like, oh, where's your husband? And I'm like, I can also do it on my own. Nobody knows my husband. My husband is the most polite, sweet, like, will do anything for me. But
I noticed she didn't say he's also good at lifting things, but that's... You know, we'll continue.
But he also knows I'm capable.
I love this so much.
I thought you would because you strike me as the same kind of person.
The number of times that I have people come up to me and be like, do you need help with that bag? And I'm like, hey guys, I really appreciate it. But if I needed help, I'd ask for it. The first person I'm asking, you guessed it, my husband. Thank you. I enjoy the idea of chivalry. I don't want it to be dead. I want there to be a degree of politeness and catering to your woman and whatever. But at the same time, don't act like I'm broken or dainty.
Okay.
This is giving, don't open the door for me just because I'm a woman. Mm-hmm. And this has happened to you in real life, as we've recounted on the show before. But it bears repeating. Would you mind just like giving us that little tidbit?
And to be fair, it's literally never happened since, and this is actually one of those things that it kind of separates the real world maybe from college. But yeah, I was at the U of M with a friend back in like 2009 or 2010, and I held a door for someone, probably looking at my feet as I was doing so, and they got very upset, and they said, you know, next time you want to hold the door for a perfectly able-bodied woman, just don't, or something along those lines. Something very feminist and stupid, and I was unbelievably shocked by it because, you know, to me, holding the door open is one of the things that's not about chivalry, at least not in the sense of it being for the opposite sex. It's just polite to do for anyone. It's like that scene in that movie with there's at least one movie. It was the one with Justice Smith, Magical Society, whatever it was called, right?
Yeah.
Yes, where he holds the door for like 12 people. And they're all very rude to him. I've never once held the door for somebody hoping that they say something nice to me. Because I'm an adult and I'm not a child. Now, if they do, that's great, I guess. But in this case, the idea is also supposed to be that, you know, it's not that you need help holding your bags. It's that it's the polite thing to do to help holding their bags. Just like a guy doesn't need you to cook him dinner. He's not going to starve, but it would be a nice thing to do if you did. The whole point here is to enter into like a voluntary relationship, theoretically with somebody you actually want to spend some time with. And there is a push-pull, a give and take from that that's supposed to be part of a well-adjusted adult relationship. But what we're looking at here is obviously not people talking about that. They're having a completely different discussion entirely.
Well, this on all sides is feminist brain rot.
Yes.
And what Millie said in that clip completely confirmed my original suspicions about what was really going on in her relationship dynamic, which is that, you know, imagine being Jake Bon Jovi. You may have offered to carry something for your wife.
Yeah. Now he's like, bro, you got to let me do it.
But she's like, I can do it myself. And women do this all the time. It's like a weird martyrdom complex. There is this addicting feeling for a lot of women to feel put upon. It's like euphoric for them to feel like they are bearing the burdens of the family. And even if someone is perfectly willing and happy to help, they refuse the help because it makes them feel less important to not do everything.
Yeah.
This is feminist brain rot as well. It's just as much feminist brain rot as the people having these weird parasocial reactions to her husband saying that he's a piece of shit.
Yes. You could draw your attention back to the great philosopher Ava Max when she did her crappy version of Barbie Girl, where she says that she can take herself on a dinner date, as if it's somehow an accomplishment for an adult woman to take herself and get dinner. She says, order 5 courses and chocolate cake. It's not that he thinks you can't. It's that it's part of the social contract that he does, because that's part of the wooing stage of the relationship. Just another level of feminist brain rot. You know, earlier in the relationship.
Reminds me of Flowers by Miley Cyrus, where she's like, I can buy myself flowers.
And they're like, yeah, no shit.
I don't need a man to buy me flowers.
It's like, no shit.
Like, we know you don't need a man, but it's okay to want one.
It is.
And it's okay to accept help and accept romantic gestures. And receptivity to those things is, I would say, central to femininity. Yes. But here were some of the responses to this clip. One said, empowering women doesn't mean doing everything while your husband doesn't do anything. A good partner would offer to take off some of the load for you, especially if you're also holding your child. Another one said, this isn't even a gender thing for me. If I was walking with someone who was carrying nothing and I had 40 bags, I'd be annoyed. And another one said, I can do it on my own. Of course you can. Millions of single mothers do every day. Your husband is supposed to give an F enough about you and his child that you aren't doing it on your own while dragging him along like a second baby you're responsible for.
They're operating under the premise that he got out of the car and just looked at her and started walking, as opposed to being like, here, let me get that. And she's like, no, I got it. Like, which Could have happened either way, but in lieu of actually knowing or seeing that, it's kind of really all that pointless. The funnier version of this, however, is that at home she really wants to cook him dinner, but he insists to do it, and then she's like, this is her version of revenge.
Okay, I'll bring up a poignant example here of the kind of behavior that Millie Bobby Brown is exhibiting, and it was Amber Heard having this insane ritual with Johnny Depp when they were together, where she insisted on taking his boots off of his feet for him when he got home. And I think it also involved serving him a glass of wine. It's the performance of service for someone else when it's really in service of your own ego.
Yes.
That's what I'm detecting here in Millie Bobby Brown's comment. And it doesn't feel like anyone is actually listening to the content of what she said, because it explains that she's responsible for this dynamic taking place, that he's not helping. She's forcing that to be the case because it serves her ego. And that's true of a lot of women these days who make rage bait gender war slop content talking about emotional labor and mental, distress that they feel when their husbands don't delineate chores in the household properly. It's because he's not doing it the right way. He is insisting on being asked to do things without taking initiative in that department. But really, you need to address where this disharmony is coming from within you.
Yes. We have a 20 here from Pop Culture Junkie. He says, I'm an equal opportunity door holder. Men, women, young, old, dogs, cats. I'd open the door for an alien. My mom just taught me that it's the polite thing to do.
I was annoyed earlier because I was waiting to enter a revolving door. And everyone knows that revolving doors go counterclockwise, okay? Am I wrong? It's always counterclockwise, that you have to enter it counterclockwise. Everyone knows that.
I guess, yeah.
Right? But this person went clockwise. And
that's actually really funny if he just does it on purpose to fuck with people.
I was just like, I can't explain why this is stupid, but it is. And I was waiting there for 10 seconds while this person completely interrupted revolving door traffic.
Everybody's life can be boiled down to either feminist or anti-feminist discourse if all you're looking at is a couple of moments of them walking in public. That's what we do now. We deconstruct people's entire existence based on a couple of moments. People
pick apart Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber's relationship just the same way. And there are some clips that I've seen of them where I was like, yikes, I don't know the context, but this looks pretty bad. One of them is Justin getting out of the car, and then he slams the door behind him when she's still in the car and has to get out. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really need that much context to know that was inconsiderate.
Thought she was going to get out the other side.
But in the case of Millie Bobby Brown, I do think people are reading into it too much, and they're not taking her words at face value in this clip. She's imposing more burden on herself because it makes her feel important and capable. I think that probably has a lot to do with her personality and upbringing, whereas Jake Bon Jovi, of course, has been a Nepo baby his entire life and probably was never expected to do things on his own and be independent.
I can discourse harder on this and give you an even more uncharitable interpretation of all of this. The worst version of this is she wanted a baby. He wasn't sure if he wanted a baby. He was wishy-washy. He said, I don't know, maybe we should wait. She said, no, I want one now. He said, fine, okay. And now she does all of this because he's mad because he's not sure he was forceful enough to put this off when he wasn't sure he was ready. And she's mad because now she feels like she has to do all of it because he was at least mildly serious about saying that we should wait, and she wasn't willing to. And there's all sorts of uncertainty and trouble in the air. I made all of that stuff up off the top of my head, and that's just as valid of a theory as everything we're seeing here.
Right. No, but I won't lie. That theory also crossed my mind when I was reading about this earlier. That same exact scenario came to mind, and I didn't want to say it because it's kind of dark.
That is dark.
It
That was like
involves their child. But it's like they did adopt, to be clear, if anyone is unaware of the circumstance, they adopted their daughter in August 2025, I believe. And I think there is really something to that. Like, not having the time to mentally and physically prepare for a baby entering your life with the term of a pregnancy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it can be very jarring, especially for the man, but for both of them, really, like to suddenly have this dependent human being in your life that previously it was just like the polar opposite experience.
I think she's actually harming. You know what? I'm going to take my anti-feminist perspective. I think she's harming him because one of the easiest and most joyful things a man can do for a woman is to carry the heavy stuff for them. Okay,
and open the pickle
jars and squash the bugs, and
all those things.
She's denying him the ability to do the simple things that make men feel wanted and useful.
So many women want to be miserable these days, and I have ranted about this on the show before. I know I have. It is a very real problem. They want to be miserable. They refuse to get out of their own way in that way. Like they want to cause themselves more stress because it makes them feel important.
I need to start thinking of Bon Jovi's song lyrics and titles that we can keep adding to these for pun's sake, but we'll do that next time.
All right.
All right, let's move on. Clavicular apparently destroyed his face.
Yeah, Clavicular, the top looks-maxing influencer in a strange turn of events, has allegedly botched himself with a recent rhinoplasty, that is a nose job that everyone is saying botched his appearance. And he is visibly disturbed by the responses. I'm sure he thought this was one of the major milestones in his looks-maxing journey that would ascend him. But his fans are ridiculing him and mocking his appearance now, and he's claiming not to care about their opinions, but it's clearly getting to him. Here is him immediately post-op after the rhinoplasty, which allegedly he paid $80,000 for, with this famous doctor in Miami. He just goes by Dr. Miami. I don't know his actual name. But here's one thing that people pointed out. You never go get a rhinoplasty from a plastic surgeon who doesn't explicitly advertise themselves for that service in particular. So
how can he be a looks maxer and not know this life hack?
It doesn't seem like he did his research. No. Yeah, that's one of the major problems when people go in for a rhinoplasty. They go to a doctor who isn't specifically specialized in just those procedures.
By the way,
one reason why people are wary of the results.
Are there any, I was thinking about this story. This is where my brain goes when I read stories like this. Is there such a thing, maybe somebody in the chat can let me know, is there like a laissez-faire capitalist libertarian who doesn't believe in plastic surgery? Because I feel like elective plastic surgery. I feel like elective plastic surgeons are the last bastion of true, like they're like lawyers. They will work on anybody. They don't care. They don't care if it's clearly hazardous to your health. They don't care if you clearly don't need it. If you've got the money, they'll do the surgery. They are free will personified.
Yeah, and it's kind of sleazy. I mean, everyone knows that, but you can't sue once you've signed away your nose to this person. Here is his result. Here are his result pictures. I think this is a week post-op.
Okay, so how did he ruin his nose? Can you just point it out to me? Maybe I'm clueless here.
Well, I think it's more evident in the before and after comparisons, which we have a couple. Okay. This is another angle. It's mostly from the left side of his face that you can tell, or it's
kind of hard to see.
Yeah. On that still from his stream, from his left side of his face, you can definitely tell that this was a mistake.
Underneath there, I see it.
Well, it's not just the bleeding, it's everything about it. Like, he basically feminized his face. And in this other before and after, you can tell there's a drastic difference. Now, there is like a lighting difference here, but you can see his nose before was much more masculine.
Yes, it actually had some something substantive to it.
Right. And it made him distinctive. And now he is starting to look like some sort of androgynous Ken doll. And that's just the forward-facing angle. Yeah. In this next clip, you can see it in motion here. He's also listening to the chat, like calling him botched and trying not to cry. Like, he legitimately looks upset, but he's not hiding it very well. And then in this next clip, he is responding to the chat, saying that he got botched, saying, he doesn't care about their opinion.
Nose looking fucked.
Yeah, okay, bro. He says, yeah, okay, bro. I don't want to get us the music's going to get us copyrighted.
Yeah, he was like trying to act unbothered.
Yeah, I mean, it's too late now. There's something to be said about irreversible decisions, or at least hard to reverse decisions.
Right. And I was like, okay, I finally understand why people who get nose jobs tend to go in for a second and sometimes even a third nose job operation, because they're always trying to correct for the mistakes of the previous one. Like, I worry that he's gonna become Michael Jackson after this.
That was one of the responses at the very beginning. It says clavicular at the end of his looks maxing journey.
Right. And this is, I think rhinoplasties are some of the cases of plastic surgery which is purely cosmetic and not medically necessary.
Well, aren't there some
I sympathize with the most, because if you have a nose that is like a distracting feature on your face that has probably caused a lot of bullying and ridicule throughout your life, I can't act like I wouldn't, do the same thing. Like, I sympathize with that. But if you don't have some sort of deformity, I don't think it's necessary. If anything, it's going to make you look worse. It's going to make you look like a totally different person.
You could make the same comment if somebody like me, who's very short, was to be like really, really insecure about not being tall, and then went and got that ridiculous leg lengthening surgery where you then look like weirdly out of proportion, all because you didn't have the ability to just, do what all the other ugly people do. Become funny. Okay, that's what you have to do when you're ugly. You learn how to make somebody laugh. You can do
a lot of people thought that Clavicular decided to get a nose job because of the memes about the judge him. And that judge actually kind of had, I guess, his ideal nose. This like kind of small aquiline nose that it looks fine on the people that naturally have it, but if you don't naturally have it, it's very off-putting to suddenly change your face in such a drastic way. And not only has he gotten the rhinoplasty, he also got an autoplasty, which is just the procedure where they pin your ears back if your ears stick out too much. And then he also got his wisdom teeth removed like a day after one of these surgeries, which seems medically ill-advised, but whatever. And he got the wisdom teeth removed so that he could get Invisalign the next day. And I didn't even know that he had crooked teeth.
At least he didn't get like the caps that would have ended up being a problem, because they would have had to like, shave down the teeth.
Yeah, that he might have said that veneers are jester.
Look, is there just something about this where it's time to admit that at least there's a gap between any sense of masculinity and looks maxing? Because I feel like the average person, if they don't pay close attention to the stuff, they're going to conflate the two. They're going to conflate manosphere dudes talking about masculinity with the idea of looks maxing, because they kind of run in the same circles. Like, these guys have all hung out. But this is all spiritually very gay and completely devoid of any sense of confidence in yourself.
Yeah. For a video recently, I registered an account on the Looksmaxing forum. I think it's just looksmaxing.com. And just wanted to peruse like who's in there, what are they discussing, what's really going on the ground floor. And first of all, I was shocked at the amount of women that are in that forum. So it doesn't appear to be this like completely male-centric culture. Secondly, most of the users are teenagers or sometimes even younger. Most of the users I saw posting in there are talking about their peers at school. And obviously, you know, adolescence is your peak of like insecurity and angst. Not the time to be making irreversible decisions about your life or your body. And thirdly, I think they were being very open about the fact that this is for other people, not themselves. And I really don't like when people get plastic surgery or cosmetic procedures and claim that it's for them. Clearly, this is about controlling how people perceive you, which is,
I mean, that's still for yourself.
Right. I mean,
it's just a roundabout way of admitting it. It's just a roundabout way of admitting it.
It's ultimately so that other people will perceive you in a better light. And he's on his stream saying these empty words. I don't give an F what any of you say. I'm mogging. I'm ascended. But you do care what people say about how you look, of course. Like, that's your entire MO. That's the point of Looksmaxing, is caring about how people perceive you.
You're gonna care. At least, you know, it's very hard to not care at all. But one of the like go-to ways to kind of maybe avoid people accusing you of that is to not actually say that you don't care. Because how often do you see comments online from people who are like, I don't give a crap what anybody says. Well, if you didn't give a crap what this person said, you wouldn't have given it attention or the time of day.
Or spent $80,000.
That's more common, like when people make like clapback Instagram videos. They're like, I don't even care. But it's like, no, you cared enough to post about it. Therefore, you care. And even that's okay, but be honest about it. For the most part, like the best way you could choose to not care would be to not read what the comments are, or at the very least know that they're going to affect you enough to just have the self-control to not read them.
Another thing I did for my research on a recent video was go on Omegle, which, if anyone is unfamiliar, is just a different version of Omegle that has AI rank you in terms of mogging. So you're in multiple rounds of like mog offs with strangers on the internet. And again, most of the people that I came across on that website were children, like some of them not even visibly high school age. It was pretty scary that they're just unsupervised on a platform like that and consuming that kind of content. Just get these kids off the damn phone. It's a problem. I can't believe that like parents are allowing this to take place, and Clavicular's parents too, honestly.
When I was out on a run yesterday, or 2 days ago, I guess it would have been, I saw like a gang of young teenage, like either like preteens or early teens out in, they were a biker gang of like kids on regular bikes, looking to ride around the town and cause mischief. And I thought,
that's
you know
cool.
what, that's nice.
The kids are all right. Well, some of the kids are all right.
Yeah, they weren't on their phones. They were, granted, there's 24 hours in the day. They can find a couple of hours to go and cause mischief and mayhem and still have plenty of personal neuroses and stuff. You know, we all found the time.
Most of the kids, though, I can confidently say they're not all right. And Clavicular is the logical conclusion of giving your child unfettered access to social media and letting social media raise your child. And lastly, I just want to mention that it appears he is like losing his will to live. And I fear that when he feels he has ascended to his maximized appearance, he's not going to have even a semblance of a purpose anymore. And on a recent stream, he said that he doesn't like doing anything anymore, including streaming. He said, I hate doing anything. I don't like anything. I like to sit in my house all day and do nothing. Rotting is that good. If I'd rather do that than make millions, I'd rather rot.
I mean, like, could be drugs, could be a lot of things. People get burnt out. Like, there's a lot of. That's not to say that he has some type of like suicidal ideation. He could very well just be going through some shit. There were times in my life. I would call it
spiritual suicide.
There were times in my life where if you had caught me on a stream at that time, I probably could have said something similar, though I don't think I would have ever said that to the world. But
I think like resigning yourself to having no higher purpose is a form of spiritual suicide.
I mean, like I said earlier, I've been in that position before but I was like deep in addiction at that time, and I just kind of acquiesced to the idea that my life was going to end in some way, shape, or form with something bad happening to me, and that did not bother me, nor did it fill me with any sense of dread. It just was what it was, and resignation to that fate is usually a sign of a deep depression that has some type of corresponding underlying cause. Mine was obviously addiction. His could be social media addiction, fueled by drug addiction, fueled by an inherent sense of narcissism. All of that stuff could be true at the same time, but he's gonna have to find a bigger purpose in life. Now, whether that's spiritual purpose, whether that's finding someone you love and care about and committing yourself to a life with them, or just getting clean and finding other things that you want to do with your life. It doesn't usually happen overnight. It'll take some time, but the fact that he broadcasts everything to everybody makes that about 1,000 times harder, because it's a lot easier to rebuild yourself in the privacy of your own life rather than sharing that with everybody.
Yep. Well, fingers crossed that happens for him eventually.
We would hope. All right. Let's move on then. Let's do cringe and cute. What would you like to see, cringe or cute?
Let's start with the cute.
All right, we will do the cute first. This is a good one. There's friendly and ferocious on screen. Aww.
Are those their names?
No. I thought the one on the left looks friendly. The one on the right looks ferocious.
Very cute.
I like it. It says timing is everything. Those are some very cute cats right there.
That's mid-yawn.
Yes. I mean, I would like to think that it's actually a giant roar. This one's from Cat Doctor, so it goes without saying. It says, all my fur babies.
Look at that fatty.
That looks like Chloe.
It does.
That one's very cute as well.
The mane on that one. Very cute.
Very cute. All right.
Wow.
All right, let's do cringe then. Here we go. It says,
this is our literacy crisis in action.
The index card.
The dog's unwearing loyalty, exemplified and unreciprocated emotional dependency.
Okay. Yeah. What's that mean?
It means I don't know.
Read the index card.
The dog's unwavering loyalty, exemplified, and unreciprocated emotional dependency.
What does that mean?
Exemplified means like, is that even a word?
I mean, maybe.
Read the index card.
I got you. The cologne?
Oh, come on. Why you got to get in with the hard one first?
The cologne? The cologne asked the choir to, oh my fucking God, accommodate the governor's schedule.
What's that mean? Read the index card.
She wore a silhouette of clothes that were extraordinary out somewhat gauche.
Wait, didn't we do something involving this exact phrase at some point, or was I on IRL when we talked about this? She wore a silhouette of clothes that were extraordinary but somewhat gauche. We literally talked about this either on here or on IRL, and I think it was IRL because we were talking about the literacy problem. And I'm like, look, that sentence as it is stupid and ridiculous enough that plenty of people would probably get it wrong. Also, I suck at reading out loud, so I can't.
But you just did it.
Yeah.
You just did it though.
But the thing is, like, I read literally against my will every day because I do have terrible out loud reading skills. Depending on how much caffeine I've had, it gets worse if I've had more caffeine. But in general, not getting Colonel is kind of rough though.
Wait, did he say colonel?
Read the index.
He said colonel or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Typical.
So
I learned that I think the average American reads at a 7th grade level.
That's probably where I'm at.
Nah, you're definitely higher than that.
The other thing about it is like if social media, like if texting hadn't become such a big thing and social media hadn't become a big enough thing, I would still have no clue where to put the commas. But like you were forced to like relearn all that stuff.
Grammar is more complicated than phonetics.
Like you were forced to relearn all that stuff, people my age were, because like you got through that stuff and then like you didn't write anything down unless you were doing school papers anyways, in which you use spell check to fix everything.
True.
The dog's unwavering loyalty exemplified an unreciprocated emotional dependency. Like I could see that being, but I'm saying that I could see that being hard. First of all, these people are probably drunk. They're drunk. So you know what? Screw.
I could read that while drunk.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Depends on what. It depends on the substance. Like if I'm moving fast enough, I'm screwing that one up. That's fine. All right, let's move on. I've white knighted enough for the people who can't read. Let's move on. Let's talk about Taylor Swift. I got a white knight for her now too.
Yeah. We need to talk about Taylor Swift's humiliating display at the Knicks game a couple of nights ago, because I don't know about all of you, but I don't know if I will ever emotionally recover from this content. I was forced to see it against my will, and it has been just causing me so much consternation ever since that I need to share it with all of you. So here's just the first clip. We don't even need the sound on. Like, please no sound on any of these. It won't be necessary. But I just...
I'm sorry. That's a hell of a pause right there.
All of them are a hell of a pause. Literally every still from these clips is the same thing. Like, she cannot contain herself. Here's her...
Oh, by the way, I gave her more of the benefit of the doubt the other day when I saw this, because I thought she was wearing like a Knicks shirt, and I'm like, okay, so she's being a fair weather fan for the sake of clicks. But it's worse. The shirt says Stevie Nicks, which means this is LOL so random millennial humor, which is somehow worse than being a fake fan.
Yeah.
And the other one's wearing a Nicole Kidman shirt.
Yes. So she attended the game with her two friends, the Haim sisters. I had never heard of them before. Apparently they're in a rock band. But they wear these coordinated t-shirts together. The other one that you didn't see in the clip says Nickelback with a K.
Get it?
Yeah. Great stuff. This one is crazy though. This one-shotted me, I think.
Here we go.
The tongue moment, really.
Is the idea supposed to be that like nothing is that much fun when you're not even actually a fan?
Nothing is that much fun, period.
See, that's not true. That's not true, though. There are endless clips of the Ben Stillers and the Timothy Chalamets of the world who are having this much fun at these games because they're dedicated fans who love these guys. So it makes perfect sense.
I've never seen Timothy Chalamet. I'm not even going to do what she did in that clip. I've never seen Timothy Chalamet.
I'm going to find it. Hold on.
Stick his tongue out.
Okay, maybe he didn't stick his tongue out, but...
do what she was doing in that clip. Never once have I seen that. But yes, I mean, some people who are fans of the Knicks feel that this is stolen valor and she's just pretending to be a fan because it's trendy and the team is doing well.
I'm telling you right now, the feminists are going to come out and be like, wait, why is it okay when Chalamet does it, but why is it not okay when she does it?
You know what? I'll tell you. It's because she is a woman in her 30s, and this is not appropriate.
How old is he?
Okay.
He's like in his early 20s or mid 20s?
I forget. He's like 30. Regardless, it's not considered socially acceptable for a woman of Taylor Swift's age.
I'm sorry, but he's
to
becoming
behave this way.
He's becoming Frankie Muniz with every passing
He
day.
does look a lot like Frankie Muniz in those pictures. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
We got
sidebarred.
another clip of Taylor Swift from the night where she blows a kiss at the camera.
Well, first we got this photo.
Yeah, this is incredible. You can't make this shit
Wait,
up.
does she have a different drink? No, is she also like nursing a drink the whole time, which runs contrary to the behavior? Oh,
yeah,
here it is.
and then this is the clip of her blowing a kiss to the audience. Great stuff. And you know what else it is for me? It's the ponytail braid for me, honestly. Okay. It's giving actual high schooler at a pep rally vibes. And I'm just not going to pretend that this doesn't irk me. Like I'm done making excuses. I've never done that, really.
No, you're not a Swiftie. So
sometimes I'm like, okay, let people have their fun. Most of the time I'm like, let's stop letting people enjoy things and let's read into it and let's actually dive into why this bothers us so much.
Look, and I'm willing to come down. I'm willing to come down on the opposite side of the issue on this one, because when we covered when me and Olivia covered the Madison Square Garden like wedding, I'm like, well, she's not just like a public figure. She's like the uber public figure. The idea that you're going to get privacy at your wedding is bonkers. The idea that you're going to get privacy at your wedding in Manhattan is bonkers.
Hold the phone. Yeah. Because Zendaya and Tom Holland did have a private wedding and there were no leaks.
I mean, she's bigger than Zendaya. She's bigger than Zendaya.
Whatever. They're very famous.
It was her point was
they're on the same level of fame. If any of these people, especially a billionaire, wants to have a locked down wedding ceremony with no pictures, no leaks, they can do it. If the Madison Square Garden thing is real and not just a fake rumor, that is like the epitome of commercialized big romance kitsch.
I like the joke that said that they were charging for tickets. That was really, really funny. Go ahead.
So I just saw this tweet that like perfectly encapsulates my feelings on this. This person said, "It feels unfair how effortlessly annoying their whole deal is. It shouldn't be this easy. I want to scold people for misogyny or whatever, making them so virulently ticked off at 3 girls existing in dumb t-shirts, but viscerally, I feel it too. I'm just suppressing it. It feels instinctual." And I could not feel more seen than I do right now, because I can't explain to you really well why it irks me so much, but it just does. And another one said, "The way you can tell Taylor Swift wholeheartedly believes she is 16 years old, and it's the reason why she kept dating teenagers well into her 20s without seeing anything wrong with it. She just thinks they're her peers." Thank you. Now, of course, that only happened one time that I recall. She dated Connor Kennedy, which is RFK Jr.'s son, when he was 17, veering toward 18, and she was, I believe, 21 at the time, which I do think is weird, but basically the point still stands. She is behaving like a teenage girl while she is a woman well into her 30s at this point, and it feels disturbing to watch. And I also want to mention a take that I heard recently about the commercialization of girlhood and the fact that it's like stigmatized to be a woman instead of a girl now. There are all these terms like, you know, girl boss and girl dinner and girl math, and, you know, the whole concept of being a girl instead of a woman is more viable from a marketing standpoint to sell products and to sell a lifestyle and an aesthetic. But it's actually not cool to be a grown adult woman now and behave the way that grown adult women have always behaved throughout history. it's only cool to be an overgrown teenager for your entire life. I mean, look at Chelsea Handler's life. It's basically the same concept. And, you know, similarly, in terms of grown women behaving like overgrown teenagers, Selena Gomez jumped into the fray and commented on one of these photos of Taylor Swift from the game, just saying an ominous LOL, which made a lot of people jump to conclusions like, why are you throwing shade at your friend for going to this game? Why are you implying that there's something wrong with that? And then Selena, playing dumb as usual, posted on her Instagram story, "Mad respect for the game. Congrats to the peeps that represent. What a comeback. So funny how some are all of the sudden fans though. LOL." And then she had to go further in her explanation and say, "I woke up and was sent so many texts. I would never insult my friends, nor was it an insult. The comment was a reaction to the first slide of the page. Second, I bet my friends on the game. The friends in the text chain I posted, I lost but was poking at my opponents, my friends. Believe it or not, I do have other friends in my life, but quickly forget that most assume otherwise. Also, it's a basketball game."
Wait, so
Again,
wait, is it either it's a
like teenage girl shit talking rumor mill behavior from women who are pushing 40, literally.
It's just women's version of like men having their hobbies. It's far more commercialized to turn it into this type of a lifestyle for the ladies, though, I guess.
But this isn't her hobby. She doesn't give a shit about sports.
No, I'm talking about Selena and how they got into all of that, them going back and forth. Yeah. I imagine it must be such a sense of power to be able to move news cycles with a single post on social media. Like if I was a famous person, I would never be trusted to do anything like that, because I would constantly want to like just prod. Just post something innocuous.
It depends on the celebrity, because some of them take it as a form of power and use it to their advantage, and others let it make them feel profoundly helpless and powerless because they feel that, you know, they can never have privacy, they can never have a real core identity outside of how people perceive them. But anyway, aside from all of this stuff about the Knicks game, I wanted to mention these recent comments from Taylor Swift about Somber.
Yeah,
we have talked about Somber on the show before because he's kind of an up-and-coming Gen Z pop star. And he was praised by Taylor Swift for his adept writing skills. She said, "He is so exceptional that it makes me actually envious, and I love that feeling. He's going to be the top of my Spotify Wrapped this year, guaranteed. It's locked in. It's in the bag. A lot of my late night debates with my friends about the state of the music industry involve me saying very loudly that Somber is the future, and he does it all on his own, and he doesn't need AI. The kids are fine. And so obviously he's a very well-adjusted person and artist and doesn't need any advice from me at all."
This feels like humble bragging, just like saying we all agreed Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist or whatever. This is just like, oh wow, you
forgot about that.
You're pretty good for who you are, I guess.
And, you know, implying subtly that she's the arbiter of who in the industry is who and like who has a future, whatever. I'm just like, I feel similarly to a lot of people in that I just have Taylor Swift fatigue syndrome.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't even call it derangement syndrome. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of the overexposure and the way she talks. Like she lacks self-awareness. She's not, it's like a weird uncanny valley when you observe someone at her age behaving in a way that you would expect of a teenager or girl in her early 20s. And I shouldn't even say girl, because if you're in your early 20s, you are a woman. You're a grown adult woman. Mm-hmm. And I am so praiseworthy of Melania Trump because, like most Slavic women, she's very composed and collected and reserved and mysterious. And she doesn't wear her heart on her sleeve. She doesn't perform emotion. She albeit as a totally different station in life, being like the spouse of the leader of the free world, like I understand there are different expectations placed on you, but in general, like if you care at all about how you're perceived as a woman, you'd be much better advised to emulate someone like Melania Trump than a Taylor Swift. Just cultivating a sense of mystery around you.
I guess that would depend on
Would
who's
serve you better in the long run.
it would depend on whose perception matters to you. If the perception of the liberal majority of the country matters to you, then you want to do whatever this shit is. If you want a more demure sense, then I guess, yeah, you go the Melania Trump route. But I feel like there's something in the middle there, and that's just all the normal people who
That's
aren't
true.
like there's somewhere in between
Yes.
though whatever this is
Yeah.
and Melania Trump. By the way, Mariska Hargitay gets a pass because she stars in a TV show that takes place in New York. Therefore, she is probably a dyed-in-the-wool fan. I have no idea. So, all right, let's move on then. Let's talk about the upcoming potential bomb that might be, what is it called? The Social Reckoning.
Yes, we must talk about the ill-fated sequel to the 2010 movie The Social Network, written by Aaron Sorkin. But I should correct myself. If I'm going by the studio's language, this is not a sequel. It's a companion piece. Gag me with a spoon. Anyway, the trailer just came out the other day, and it's getting clowned on because it does not strike the same tone as the original Social Network movie whatsoever. The trailer is incredibly self-serious, dark. I mean, literally in the color grading, but also the tone of the dialogue. And the subject matter is drastically different from the original, which was about the founding of Facebook. And this is more about Mark Zuckerberg, well down the line in 2021, when the Wall Street Journal published a 17-part expose on the internal documents of Facebook's algorithm.
We got a 20 here from Weary Traveler, says the entire country has arrested development. I don't know if I read that one, but I wanted to double check.
Oh,
So, continue.
Sorry about that.
He's right.
So they say Aaron Sorkin's original screenplay is based on the events that gave rise to the Wall Street Journal's shocking expose, The Facebook Files, inspired by the true story of how Frances Hagen, played by Mikey Madison, a young Facebook engineer, enlists the help of Jeff Horowitz, played by Jeremy Allen White, a Wall Street Journal reporter, to go on a dangerous journey that ends up blowing the whistle on the social network's most guarded secrets. So there are several reasons why this movie is probably doomed from the start. One is that they have had a change of director. So Aaron Sorkin was the writer of the original, and now he has gotten into the director role, when before it was David Fincher. And not only that, they failed to get Jesse Eisenberg on the cast for this go round because he has a bunch of negative feelings about having played Mark Zuckerberg, and he feels, it's associating him with someone who he doesn't want to be associated with. But I guess as an actor, that you should understand that comes with the territory. We'll get into that in a second, but I just want to show this this guy imitating the Mikey Madison line in the opening of the trailer.
Listen, before I go on, I want to make something clear.
Okay.
I had enough of Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the entire trailer is like that, but devoid of color. So they're getting clowned on right now. The Hollywood Reporter spoke about it. So opening in what looks like Middle Earth, Mikey Madison's Facebook whistleblower tells Jeremy Allen White's reporter, "I want to make something clear. I have a hunch you're not a fan of Facebook," that the internet has been making fun of. The footage includes Jeremy Strong's Mark Zuckerberg turning into a malfunctioning android, and concludes, with a somber Jeremy Allen White saying of Mikey Madison's character, "She's disrupting," which has to be the biggest trailer groaner since Felicity Jones declared "I rebel" in the Rogue One teaser. The footage is also weirdly stuffed with popping camera flashbulb effects, as if the film was set in the 1950s. Story-wise, The Social Reckoning might have a challenge. The social media hellscape has become so much worse since the film's 2021 setting that fretting over the toxic and addictive algorithm used by your dad's preferred news feed now seems more quaint than pressing. The Social Network had such a breezy and engaging fleetness, a quality one associates with Aaron Sorkin's deft writing, so it's odd that this sequel or companion piece, per the studio, directed by Sorkin instead of David Fincher, feels so deathly solemn.
Is it also written by Sorkin again this time? So he's writing and directing? That's funny, too. Olivia loves The West Wing, and she loves The Newsroom. Those are, and like, I'm one of those people who, I'm not a fan of the show, but I can recognize well done writing when I see it, even if it isn't necessarily my taste. Not to mention the style of walk and talks that they use for most of his shows are always good, and I think they actually lend themselves for like a show like The West Wing, or even like a movie like the Social Network. Having camera movement and people moving and talking actually makes a lot of sense because it keeps the pace going. But if it was like in real life here, I've never had a business meeting on the move. Like nobody who works here has ever been, like, at least not fast, right?
Well, that's what CEOs do. They walk and talk.
Yeah. So
it's especially effective if they can at least make it look like there are no cuts.
And Sorkin isn't a director by trade. I mean, he's directed a few things, nothing of which that I really remember, but he's a writer.
They said David Fincher was simply too busy.
I'm sure he was.
Directing this Social Network companion piece. Now, then we get to the question of recasting Mark Zuckerberg with Jeremy Strong to replace Jesse Eisenberg. And I think Jeremy Strong, based on the trailer, did a really good job of imitating the voice and the accent, but they're right that he comes off more like a robot with human skin, and everyone makes fun of Mark Zuckerberg for that, but of course it's exaggerated to a point where I can't suspend disbelief anymore.
Yeah, but the thing is that idea of Zuckerberg as like a robotic lizard person permeated way long after The Social Network came out.
Yes, and Jesse Eisenberg did a really good job of playing it as like someone who's kind of autistic but still has emotions.
I'm sorry, that shot just makes me want to just gouge my eyes out. It's so dark. It's so awful. I started rewatching
he's in what is that? He's like in the middle of a deposition.
Yeah, some deposition. And it's just like, I started rewatching the original Transformers last night, and every shot is just rich with saturation. The colors are dense. It's beautiful, and it's a freaking Transformers movie. You can't give me some colorful image. I'm not saying that the room needs to be like brightly lit, but how about some are those wood panels in the background? What the fuck is going on behind him?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. He's conducting a deposition before Congress, except they decided to meet up in the basement of a Pizza Hut. Like, I don't know what's going on. So Sorkin did initially bring the role of Mark Zuckerberg to Jesse Eisenberg, but he said, I felt like it belonged to him and it was battle tested. He spent 3 days basically begging Eisenberg to take the role, but Eisenberg refused. Though he says he doesn't want to speak for Jesse Eisenberg, he explains that he simply did not want to be conflated with Mark Zuckerberg anymore, that he has his problems with the guy. He doesn't like kids coming up to him in airports with business cards that say, "I'm the CEO, bitch," for him to sign. Now, I think that that's a stupid reason to turn down the role, because you shouldn't let your own personal feelings about somebody stop you from playing them in a TV show or a movie. But I also wanted to bring up again his 2025 comments about not reprising his role. This was, keep in mind, freshly after the re-election of Donald Trump. So the pain was fresh on Jesse Eisenberg's mind when he was talking about this. This was also in the same season as the inauguration where Zuckerberg was present. So keep that in mind. He said that he hasn't been following the life of Facebook's trajectory after the movie, partly because, quote, I don't want to think of myself as associated with somebody like that. It's not like I played a great golfer or something, and now people think I'm a great golfer. It's like this guy that's doing things that are problematic, taking away fact-checking and safety concerns and making people who are already threatened in this world more threatened. And I think this is also going to strike a tone of condemnation on Facebook for softening their censorship guidelines.
Absolutely.
This interview that they did with Jesse Eisenberg was shortly after Zuckerberg made the announcement that they would be reworking their fact-checking systems to be more similar to community notes on X, and that they were admitting fault for censoring people too harshly and being politically biased. So I feel like the social reckoning is going to be taking the angle that, like, they're harboring extremism on Facebook, and it just doesn't come off as a matter of fact look at the company's real mistakes, because they're coming at it from that perspective. And I also think Jesse Eisenberg is overselling the idea that people conflate him with Mark Zuckerberg. Like, I know that's a problem, that people watch a fictional story and they do sort of hold it against an actor for doing things in a fictional role that they obviously don't condone in real life. But
I don't buy that this movie was that influential that still happens to this
He's
day.
exaggerating.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't believe that. Not one iota do I believe that.
Yes, and if the social reckoning were trying to have a little bit like the comedic timing that The Social Network did, I think they would have cast Eben Moss-Bachrach to play the reporter from the Wall Street Journal instead of Jeremy Allen White. And I say that because I saw him in the Hulu series The Dropout, where he played the journalist that published the expose on Theranos. And he did it in a way that was like, it really struck the balance between like comedic timing and the seriousness of the subject matter. But it, like, the way that Jeremy Allen White played it in the trailer, at least, was not believable. And I don't know, it was just cringy.
That would have made more
cringe.
sense too, because as an actor, he's one of those stars on the way up. He's been getting better and better. He goes all the way back to like season 2 of Person of Interest in like a very important but small guest role. And then he was in The Punisher, the first season of The Punisher as Micro. So he's since started getting, and then of course he was in Fantastic Four last year. He's been getting lots and lots of work. So it would have made perfect sense for them to cast him in this. Though it's possible those were shooting at the same time.
Right. Yes.
Or no, because if Fantastic Four came out this like last summer, it was likely done. He might have been working. He was probably working on something else.
Yeah. And then they have Mikey Madison playing the whistleblower, the Facebook engineer, Frances Hagen, who she admits she's never spoken to. I guess that's something that comes up in biopics and based on true stories. If you color your interpretation of the role by interacting with the real person, you might not be able to, have an original portrayal.
That makes sense to me.
It's just like, it's hard for me to buy into her performance either based on what I saw in the trailer, because I mean, maybe my impression of her is just like forever going to be tainted by her playing a stripper in Anora. But she doesn't come off as someone who's at least confident in her technical knowledge. And she said the most intimidating part of taking on this role was learning about computer jargon and mathematical text and learning how to type quickly. And you can tell based on how she delivers her lines in the trailer. So that's going to be tough to buy into. The whole thing just seems ill-fated to me. I don't think it's going to be nearly as successful or impactful.
Well, in the same way that making a movie about AI in 2026 is different than making a movie about AI in the 80s and 90s, there's a whole lot of extra baggage that comes with the subject matter now that the world has changed. And it's let's face it, it's not fun anymore. And that shot, I'm sorry, I know that I'm like slacking on the job, but I just started going rewatching Transformers clips because I had to get that fucking image of fucking fake Zuckerberg out of my head. Like, what the hell is this supposed to be?
He looks like Voldemort.
Who wouldn't want to just jump off of a cliff after watching this movie? It's dark, it's gray, it's drab. Nobody wants to watch shit like this.
Dude, he looks like Voldemort for real.
Like,
and
it looks
ironically,
so
as you can tell by this side by side, if you could go back to that tweet, Mark Zuckerberg now looks like what Justin Timberlake looked like in The Social Network.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, I just figured this out. So Justin Timberlake played Sean Parker in Social Network, who was the co-founder of Napster and the first president of Facebook. And he has this line where he says, originally Facebook was supposed to be called The Facebook, and he says, drop the, just Facebook. It's cleaner. And now in perfect timing, this Justin Timberlake still is like getting memed all over the timeline. And he says, drop the Berg, just Zuck. It's cleaner. And then in response to the Minecraft sequel, it's called A Minecraft Movie Squared. And he says, drop the A movie, just Minecraft squared. It's cleaner.
You know what it is? They're suffering from the WWE school of naming, which is whenever a professional wrestler comes to WWE, they just get rid of the first name and they just become the last name.
Yeah, I think that the original also did a really good job of capturing this like sort of frat bro Palo Alto energy of the time, and now they're so ideologically committed to villainizing Mark Zuckerberg instead of showing a realistic portrayal that it's not going to hit the same.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about it. It's going to be about like Facebook giving teenage girls depression, them like not fact checking stuff, and like Russian bots and like safety protocols. And it's like, it's just not cool. It's not cool. Social Network was cool.
Yeah. Yep. All right. I don't have any interest in it. And not to mention, like, Sorkin as a writer is not the same thing as Sorkin as a director. That is for sure. All right, let's move on.
So there are a lot of things going on in the world that I clearly don't understand, and the World Cup is one of them. But in conjunction with the World Cup, there are tons of foreign tourists going on road trips across the United States and discovering the best things about American culture. First and foremost, our slop, our fast food slop, and our gas stations. Because that's our main cultural export, is MSG and GMOs and all of the things that they don't have in the EU. So there are several Europeans who are live tweeting their road trip experience across especially the South. And here is a Swedish girl documenting her first stop at a roadside diner, saying, "This is so surreal. I just had the best food ever."
I honestly, I've been watching this like 5-part documentary series on the history of Route 66, and it like every business on the side of the road looks like this. So it makes perfect sense.
She posted after that this picture of her meal that was like the middest.
Oh my gosh, it's so
ever.
mid looking.
It's so mid. It's like below mid.
Oh my god, the fries look like they didn't even put them in an air fryer for very long.
Oh, the fries look super like unsalted and like not even hot.
The onion rings look okay.
She said, "Why did no one tell me ranch sauce is like crack? Europe, we need ranch ASAP."
We know why they're all fat.
Yeah. And then she posted a picture of her bacon wrapped tater tots.
Okay,
with
that
ranch.
looks good.
Look, based on the tray alone, I know that cost you $17.
Oh yeah, well, the Lumineers played in the background.
Yes, absolutely. She is at Thistle and Thorn as we speak.
They ran out of newspaper.
Her first breakfast in America. Now, this actually looked really good. Hash browns topped with fried eggs. Hash brown with gravy and eggs. Jackie, the owner, has been there for 40 years.
Okay, I'm sorry, but somebody needs to Photoshop like an after photo where she's just super fat. Like after the weekend.
Yeah. Everyone who's traveling here for the World Cup is going to come back with the freshman 15 for sure. And, you know, the crazy thing about this is when Americans go on vacation in Europe, they usually come back and say they lost weight. The opposite is going to happen here.
But the thing
also,
is, they say the same
thing to me that she said the owner has been there for 40 years. Because if you go to any, like, sort of remote town in, like, Italy or Spain, you're going to come across businesses that have been owned by the same family for maybe hundreds of years. So how is it shocking to her that this woman has owned the restaurant for 40 years?
I mean, maybe
that's like nothing.
Yeah, but the thing is like there's a difference between the shops that are run that American tourists go to and where somebody who lives there goes on a daily basis. They might not necessarily go to those businesses all that often.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's a reason. Amish people are real.
She had a chance encounter with the Amish in their horse and buggy.
And the Dollar General.
Yup. She's exploring the wild. And here's where things get ugly. She said, okay, I guess it was going to happen eventually. My first negative experience.
Why?
She's at a CVS or a Walgreens or something, and she says, why is one item locked up, yet the other item's the same price isn't?
997,000 views on this tweet.
And then she replied like an hour later saying, oh no, what have I done? Yeah. Yeah, you're learning about the real texture of life here.
Yep.
And then another one named Freddie, a German tourist, had a similar experience when he showed up in Atlanta and decided to use the public transit. He said, not gonna lie, riding the metro in Atlanta is a bit scary. If any of you guys are going to a game there, I'd probably recommend getting an Uber instead. It's like a GTA lobby. One person next to us taking off his shirt and declaring war on Donald Trump while another person is moonwalking across the platform.
How novel.
Yeah, charming when you're just here for vacation, not so much when you live here. And we have a Japanese tourist, actually, who showed up and got whatever the hell this is.
I don't know.
I can't identify a single thing other than the... Is that a biscuit? I have no idea what
Somebody says, is that chicken, mac and cheese, greens, and a biscuit?
There's mac and cheese on the plate? I can't even tell.
I can't tell. I thought this back here could have been the mac and cheese, but it looks like mashed potatoes, but yellow.
This feels like when all of the Japanese users flooded X because it was auto-translating their posts.
Comment
just
says...
said, American lunch.
Yes.
No comment.
This says, I'm American, no idea what this is.
Okay, and then he showed up in Nashville and went to Broadway, because of course you have to. And he said in the caption, diverse city, very nice. So, look, that's fine, but you're going home to Japan where there's no diversity, and I'm sure you prefer it that way. Just saying. And then he posted another photo of Broadway at sunset and said, it's a view so stunning, it feels like a lie. It is a lie, brother.
Okay.
Just walk another street down, walk down another block. It's not like that anymore. It is a lie.
Well, yeah. I mean, is the sunset supposed to be the great part here? Like, that's like a mediocre sunset. Like, I'd give that sunset like a 6 out of 10. It's not that great.
I live in Nashville now, and I'm not one of the people who performatively hates on Broadway. There are a lot of people who do, and I think it's a humble brag. But he's overselling it for sure. And then Freddie, the German tourist, posted his Waffle House experience at 1 a.m. I hope for his sake that it was not in Atlanta.
I do. I want him to experience like, you shouldn't get to go to some type of safe quasi-suburban Waffle House for your first experience if you're going at 1 a.m. You should have to go somewhere where the possibility of a chair leg gashing your neck open is a possibility.
Yeah.
For the sake of experience and authenticity.
I will cape for the food at Waffle House any day. So I have zero complaints about this one. It is amazing. I stand by that. He also visited a Buc-ee's, I believe in Alabama, on his road trip. And he said, dude, LMAO, this is a gas station. Like, it's charming that it's such a novelty.
But to be fair, it's like that's a novelty even to Americans.
Oh, yeah, it's a novelty gas station. True. He also experienced the wonder of Bass Pro Shops.
Oh, did he go to the pyramid one? He didn't go to the pyramid one.
Or not the pyramid one, but the outdoor world. He said, we found another surreal place on our way. I know some people will say I'm too positive about everything I see, but this place was crazy. They had a shooting range in the store and they were selling rifles in there. Like, the European mind cannot comprehend this.
We might need more of this. So I was having like a thought to myself the other day when I was out and about how the meme about the founding fathers like creating the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights there, and he's like, ooh, and you can say whatever you want. Oh, let's give them guns too. This country's gonna be lit. That's the type of pro-American memery you need to have some way of kind of imbibing the culture of what you actually like, the good things about America are, rather than just accepting some sort of like leftist interpretation of all the bad things they believe the First and Second Amendment bring you.
Well, I mean, granted, none of these tourists are visiting the National Mall or going to museums.
I'm just saying we need to find a way to bring about a more positive interpretation of America.
And another German who goes by Fiago posted a picture on the outside of a closed rainforest cafe.
That's so funny. How did he...
Saying, can anyone tell me more about this mushroom house in the middle of downtown Chicago? I am amazed.
Go find like Weird Food or whatever that channel that I watch is, that did like a whole thing on what do they call them? Themed restaurants.
It's the childlike simplicity. And take note, by the way, of the American response to all of this. Americans love sharing all of this with visitors. Whereas when Americans head outside of the US, and it's harder for us to do that, they're treated with mockery and vitriol every step of the way. Like, Americans are hated as tourists, whereas when we have tourists, we're far more welcoming. And Fiago actually said as much. All jokes aside, Americans are actually some of the friendliest and most welcoming folks I have ever met. I've been to Miami, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Chicago, and everywhere I met amazing people, 100 times friendlier than the grumpy Germans at home. And
look how happy this guy looks.
Yeah, look at it, that innocent German face. Yeah. Another tourist said, everyone told me Americans were unfriendly, but they hold doors open. They stop when you're crossing the road. They say hello in the street. Why do people assume that Americans aren't like this? It's because they're jealous. Mm-hmm. They're jealous Euro trash. They don't want to admit that we're the superior nation and that we're the world power. And now there are some cynics who say this is engagement farming. They're pretending to like American culture for clout. You know, they're pretending to be these naive children. One of them said that they had never seen plain Wi-Fi before. But the Europeans are in the comments saying like, no, we for real don't have Wi-Fi on our planes.
Well, they probably said the same thing when they saw an air conditioning unit for the first time.
Oh yeah, these people, like, I don't think Americans realize they don't even have they don't have air conditioning. They don't have ice in their drinks. They look at you weird if you ask for either of these things. They have washers in their kitchens and no dryers. They still pin their clothes up to dry.
They do like to dunk on Americans, the way Americans build their homes. With
because they're newer or because
wood and
they're just too big, or
wood, and they don't use like brick and stone.
Yeah, because they're around old stuff and like everything here is way newer for sure. Americans have embraced Freddie's running travel diary as a wholesome reminder that sometimes the country's biggest attractions aren't famous monuments. They're a Chili's salad, a Buc-ee's brisket sandwich, and a gas station so enormous that it leaves European tourists questioning reality.
This guy,
I don't feel about this. I don't know. I'm like stuck between wanting to appreciate the novelty of it all and like see it with fresh eyes, and the cynical side of me wants to think like, aren't we more than fast food? You know, like I want to be more than a cheese pull at Chili's.
Okay, so what is the rest of the world to Americans when they travel? It's museums and restaurants a lot of the time. It's
fair enough.
So you know, all he has to do is sprinkle in some trips to the museums here in America, and it's the same tourist experience that Americans have when they go to other countries. They go visit their landmarks, and they go say, "Ooh, I lost 15 pounds in Italy despite the fact that I ate nothing but bread for 20 days straight while I gorged myself on pasta."
Well, with the exception of my time in China, everywhere else I've gone outside of the US, one of the most interesting things for me is to visit churches, and especially, of course, in Rome. Like, that was incredible. I think, you know, if they really want to get the full American experience, you got to visit the churches. You got to go to like the strip mall churches. You've got to go to the Catholic churches that have been there for a couple hundred years. You got to go to the like barren, tiny, non-denom churches on like that are in the middle of a cornfield. You got to go to the mega church that's in like a mall.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have the full gamut of the faith experience in this country, because it is actually way more diverse than in Europe.
Then you can go to Dearborn and experience that out there and find just about every religion. Oh, I know. So when we were on the way home, we were going through Dearborn because Olivia's family lives out in Michigan. What was the religion that Justin Baldoni was part of?
Oh, Baha'i.
We saw a Baha'i church.
No way.
I'm not
That's
kidding
crazy.
you. It was crazy. I was like it was just there. It's pretty
What's
big.
wild
too.
about that is I had never heard of Baha'i until I read about Justin Baldoni.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know, today he got ordered to pay legal fees to
Damn.
You
know how much?
I don't know. I didn't see how much, but he doesn't have to pay punitive damages, but he does have to pay legal fees. But something tells me she's got the money to run up the legal fees, and he might not have that saved in the bank.
Okay, what's your take though? Are you feeling like me on this, where it's like there is a cynical side that you can see it, and there is also like a more wholesome way you can interpret the pilgrimage that they're on?
I looked at the guy's posts. He's got 141,000 subscribers. He knows how to work social media, but I'm willing to be lied to. I'm willing to suspend my cynicism for the moment in lieu of more evidence to the contrary. And really, isn't that just kind of the way it goes for a lot of this stuff? Is like, you have to be willing to interpret things with less of a cynical eye. Otherwise, you kind of just talk yourself into a life of cynicism forever. And who wants that? Like, I'd rather see the, like, I mean, I'm kind of saying the same thing where it's like my cynicism was tested when I see Taylor Swift in a Stevie Nicks shirt. Like, if she's just wearing like a regular Knicks jersey, I'm like, okay, I'm willing to be lied to. Maybe she likes the New York Knicks. Now, do I actually believe that? No, but whatever. Like let America doesn't get a chance to shine very often when it comes to this stuff because the discussion is always about the bad things in America.
Yes,
So
yeah. It is definitely refreshing to see people saying anything positive about America when Americans are too busy hating themselves and despising any form of patriotism or appreciation for their culture, or even denying that they have a culture. But interestingly, the one group of tourists that refuse to say anything positive about America, you already have the answer in your head. It's the British tourists.
Oh,
They
really?
hate us. Yeah, and I know we have a spotted history, but you've got to get over yourselves. Love this country for what it is.
It is fair to point out that America never misses an opportunity to make fun of the British, though. So it's fair.
Yeah, but they hate on us just as much, if not more.
But that's
There
what
are
I'm
just less of them.
I'm saying, like, you're asking them to be the bigger person. I'm gonna say right now that neither is gonna be willing to do that. and we at least we get
They're
to do
just
it.
jealous.
At least we get to do it with air conditioning. So
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right. You know what? If patriotism means a Buc-ee's and a Chili's sampler platter, then so be it.
Oh, it looks like there was a 20 earlier, so I'm going to get to that one first from Christina Lee.
Nope.
When my son was born, I had all the luxury extra baby gadgets. It was a time when all the top celebs had babies and went all out with pronatalism in style. Think Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt with posh baby gears. Well, I wouldn't call that pronatalism per se. I mean, if anything, it might deter people from having kids if they think they have to invest thousands upon thousands of dollars in like trendy strollers and all of these different. I mean, they also have like babyish names. I was just thinking about this recently because they've got the there's like a thing that automatically rocks your baby back and forth. It's called the Snoo. It's an SNOO, Snoo.
Okay.
And then they've got all the trendy strollers. I think one of them is called the Uppa Baby. And it's like thousands of dollars, I'm pretty sure. I checked.
And it's just like, do you need that? Do you need that?
You really don't. You really don't. So that's just I think probably deters more people than it attracts. Dingus Khan of Gongolia said, I went to Quick Trip this morning and saw they had Mountain Dew flavored donuts. I had to try them for science. They actually weren't bad. They tasted like a lemon cruller, but with green dye.
The British mind could also never comprehend.
See, I would be disappointed if it didn't have the Mountain Dew flavor. Like if it just tastes like a lemon glaze or whatever, then I'd be bored. Shane H. Wilder said Brett with his biggest fans.
Yeah, if you can't see him, unfortunately. Even like, I wonder if I can does the PTZ? Hold on, I'm gonna double check this here. You could see it there in that shot there. You wouldn't have been able to hear me, but it's they're there. I got two fans and keeping me from, melting.
Is it bad still though?
No, it's honestly it's really not. But the thing is, I also left. You can't see it right now, but where you would have sat or where Olivia sits, that has like that curtain behind there. We used to put the sound barrier up. I don't even put those up anymore. And today I don't even have the curtain closed. I have the curtain open to keep the air flowing through here.
Yeah, we were kind of just stuck in a box with breathing our own CO2. Burned Oils said, is Mary handicapped? She's always sat down, even on internet show, sat down like a big giant baby.
Well, so one time me and you went to the premiere for, what was it, Mr. Burcham, and we were standing at least one other premiere that I can think of. So there has been times she's been seen standing.
Why is it that when I sit in a streaming chair, I'm handicapped, but if Brett sits in a streaming chair, he's just taking a load off?
Because my Instagram is all skating, so I have plausible deniability that I have earned the right to take a load off.
Well, at least you can see my legs on internet show, as the comments have gladly pointed out. Antonio Lucero said, Mary has a great sense of style. I like the way she dresses, the great sense of humor, the intelligence she exhibits. Mary is a gem. Thank you very much.
I got a question for you. Of all of those compliments, which one do you find, do you appreciate the most? Don't even lie and say it's the intelligence. Tell me it's the sense of style, right? It's how you dress.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to own that.
There you go.
And I like the way I dress too. Otherwise, I wouldn't dress this way.
There you go.
I like being a little bit overdressed for every occasion.
There you go.
Shane H. Wilder said, yeah, CCC was Catholic Creators Conference. You think a schlub like me has pull in adding y'all into the catechism as a joke? LOL. I don't know. I mean, maybe you have access to the Vatican archives. You can hack the website or something. Pop Culture Junkie said, oh, I think Brett read that one earlier.
I did, yep.
Shane H. Wilder said, would you say that Millie Bobby Brown gives love a bad name? That she keeps saying it's my life, but it's really just bad medicine.
That was good. That was good. I also like
there was a joke in there and you found it.
Yes. I'm glad you didn't go too obscure either. So that was good.
Corey Anderson said, thank the Lord OC isn't on today. We would get nothing but Taylor Swift worship. Taylor can do no wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Just kidding. Love ya, OC.
Look, there has to be one ardent defender and one hater. That's perfectly fine.
Well, what if you could speak for her? What would she have said during our Taylor Swift segment today?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because, like, surely she can be objective and acknowledge, like, when Taylor Swift is being annoying. You know?
The thing is, though, is like even I, as somebody who I'd like I said, the last time we did a Taylor Swift topic, I was on the negative side of it. I look at it, I'm just like, okay, so she's acting silly at a freaking NBA game. So what? Everybody there is acting silly. Y'all are just mad because she's Taylor Swift acting silly, and that's like, I get the critique, you know, like because you made a broader comparison to like women in general and in like protracted adolescence and all of these things. Well, if that was the case, it's kind of like, I'll give you my critique of these things. It's like when Mark Ruffalo wears a sideways hat. I'm like, you're worth millions of dollars. Put your hat on straight.
See, you have it too. You have the brainworm.
But my objective opinion is like, dude's got millions of dollars. Guess he can dress however the fuck he wants. It's all based on my personal bias, right? I say that to Mark Ruffalo because I can't stand Mark Ruffalo.
Look, I've ranted about this before, and I actually forgot to bring it up, but we have like a national crisis of women screaming, like all the time.
All the time.
They need to stop screaming and piercing everyone's eardrums. Not only that, but women speaking in these like cartoonish voices that are not how they naturally sound. I've mentioned this before, but it's just like, it is fingernails on the chalkboard to me when a woman pitches her voice up artificially because it's like a socially conditioned thing to do.
To do what? I'm sorry, say it again.
Like pitch your voice up
Oh.
higher than it naturally is.
I mean,
which also makes you louder.
Okay.
And like, I think women should be quieter. But not that they should speak less. I think they should speak quieter.
I mean that's all dependent on personality. Like I can't change the way I speak. Like when people make fun of the way I talk in the comments, like nothing I can do about it. That's why I always make the joke whenever I get sick and I lose my voice. I'm like, I wish this could stay forever.
Well, look, you're exempt from this because you're not the person I'm describing, but you definitely can change how you speak. I have done it myself. You can go back to like some of our old episodes and you can tell the difference. I control how I speak and I changed it to sound better. I mean, that's as simple as it was.
To me, it's mainly just like when I cut caffeine back, it changes how I speak a decent amount. Like if there's days where I record videos and I have less. Thank you, guys. Like when I have less caffeine, you know, I speak less quickly. And there's this other thing that's been going on now. You'll love this. Whenever we're doing the outro and I'm doing the social medias, my brain will not let me process saying the words pop culture crisis. It like will not, like I'm literally saying it as I'm like, yeah, but I'm saying like when we're doing the outro, there's just something about it. Probably because it's at the end of the delivery of the whole outro spiel. So it's like naturally picks up pace because you're just getting through it because you're on a like this. So like I'll be in the middle of saying it. I'm like, finish it. Say the word culture. You're not. Do it. Do it.
So culture is the problem?
Yeah, like I'm like at pop culture crisis, but my brain's like pop. Say the second word. Say the second. It's just weird, man.
We all know what that's like.
But
I have much more to say, but I have to get out of here.
Yeah, at 5. You got a hard out at 5 today. Okay.
We gotta power through here. Robert Delera said there are probably a lot of reasons why someone like Clavicular, who is so young, continues to be so self-destructive. It's a sad and wasted life. I blame the parents, first and foremost. Corey Anderson said, can we please get the homie Kyler on? Mary, the Ren Fair episode was the best one yet. Also, what is Kyler's IG? YouTube made me spell it, by the way.
Bro wants to
spell it that way.
Bro wants to slide into his DMs.
Kyler's Instagram, if I recall correctly, is Kyler Finney Comedy. And that's Finney, his last name. But yes, we can get the homie Kyler on. It's just a question of having 2 remote guests at once.
Yeah,
we have the technology, but we need to get Brett on board with the idea.
I'm at the very least. Okay, so here's the thing. I haven't done like a remote guest show in a while. Actually, that's not true because I did a bonus episode with Mike Harlow yesterday. Yeah. But I need to do at least one that's like a pre-record to see how our system handles it. Once I do that, maybe we can do it. So I'm going to have Vera Dark is going to be guest hosting on Tuesday this coming week. She does a show called Vera and Virtue with Wicked Virtue. Maybe I'll see if I can grab both of them sometime in the next couple of weeks and do like a pre-record bonus episode. If that goes okay, we'll look into it.
Sounds like a plan. High Voltage 75 said he's going to end up with a face like Michael Jackson. Yeah, once you start fixing things, you never stop. Jam Dolphman Dolph. I don't know if I said that right. Said, what color is Mary's lipstick? I like it. Love you guys, by the way. I wear a lip stain. The brand is Wonder Skin, and the color is called Whimsical.
There you go.
There you go. Shane H. Wilder said, the average American reads at 5th grade level. Reporters are told that they must write at said level because people are analphabetic. Is that I must read at a 5th grade level as well because I've never heard of that word.
Wait, it's like that story about like A&W having the 3rd pound burger and they and like they dumped it because people were like they thought was bigger.
Weary Traveler said the entire country has Arrested Development. Yeah. Pop Culture Junkie said, Mary, agree with you. It's not hot woman summer. Yeah, what's so wrong with like being a woman, you know, instead of a girl? I don't like this whole I'm just a girl thing.
I mean, I can't even think like how are they how is it reflected back in the movies and television shows like that women watch? You watch Devil Wears Prada too. Do they act like women or do they act like girls?
They act like women.
Okay. So I feel like women would make more entertainment that would speak to women, but as soon as you get like the guys making the movies with women, they kind of act like girls because I'm thinking like superhero stuff, right?
Really?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. For instance, I got my tickets to Supergirl, and poor Olivia, she's really excited to go see Supergirl, and you know she's the drunk. She's not. I guess they wouldn't like that word. She's messy. She's drunk. Yeah. She's damaged and all that stuff.
She's spunky.
Yeah, like it is what it is.
Boss N said, Mary, I hope you have a good white boy summer.
Okay.
Is it a white boy summer this summer? Have we gotten notice from Chet Hanks yet on that?
I think he's like past that now. He's
Yeah.
you know, because he's back in the mainstream because he's like doing music and he's acting all the time.
I think 2021 is the only real white boy summer. Maybe it'll make a comeback at some point. Corey Anderson said, Mary, how come you didn't mention 62-year-old Mariska Hargitay, sitting right next to Taylor wearing the same Stevie Nicks shirt? Was she wearing the Stevie Nicks shirt too?
She was wearing, I think I still have it here. She was wearing one of those shirts, I think.
I didn't see her in any of the photos, except for that one, of course. But the ones that I saw were of Taylor Swift with the Haim sisters. I didn't know that Mariska Hargitay was there.
Okay, so again, let me cape for a second.
All right. Looking for Taylor?
For Mariska.
Okay.
She's done like 30 seasons of Law and Order SVU. She probably swims in money when she probably has a waterbed full of money. Like
liquid gold.
She can do whatever she wants. Okay, if she wants to go act silly.
Well, Taylor Swift has a net worth of $2 billion. Does that mean you can do anything and not be criticized for it?
No, I'm not saying that they can't be criticized for it. I'm saying that it's hard for them to feel bad or want to change when they're like, well, okay, the advice you're giving me to change isn't going to benefit my life in any way that I care about. I've got money, I've got a fan base.
Yeah.
People like me. What benefit is there for me to change it? Like, the point of making a change like that would be for like a meaningful way of growing. And she's like, how does Taylor Swift becoming calm, cool, and collected benefit her personally? Not how does it benefit those who would like her to act differently. How does it benefit her?
I guess that's a fair way to frame it. Yeah. I'm not saying like anything is going to, she's not going to see a tweet making fun of her and totally change her.
The novelty shirts are the worst part of this. That is the worst part of millennial culture, is the novelty shirt.
She would be like, randomly during conversation, she'd be like, tacos.
Zoinks.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said, The Social Reckoning, not having Trent Reznor return to score the film is enough for me to say no thanks. His original score is one of my favorites.
Do they know?
I didn't know it was his score.
Do they know who's doing the score for the new one?
I'm not sure it mentioned it.
Probably somebody boring who likes the color gray. Who likes the color gray. No, it wouldn't be Diplo. It'd be freaking Benson Boone.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said all these new movies look so gray and gay. That's what they are. They're gray and gay. I'm going to use that from now on.
Yes.
I like that. Robert Delara said, I saw The Social Network and it was a good movie. I don't need to see a sequel to it. One Mark Zuckerberg movie is enough for everyone. No, it's not a sequel, okay? It's a companion piece. You misread. Boston said, does the Renaissance Fair you go to use coin of the realm? LOL. I do an Inquisitor thing. I like to yell at the sinners. My friends don't take me anymore. You role play as an Inquisitor? I feel like most of the people at the Ren Fair don't know enough about history to even tell you what the Inquisition was. But the Renaissance Fair using coin of the realm, I don't have an answer to that question. Sorry.
In the Rumble chat, S Dozer says somber for score. It would fit with the color grading of that movie.
Yeah. Antonio Lucero said, love to hear Mary's insight. Thank you. Man Bear Cow TV said, man bear slop. Okay. Robert Delara said, World Cup visitors will get to experience Waffle House. So I was joking earlier, like, about an alternate universe Belgian Waffle House.
Yes.
But it's they serve Belgian waffles, obviously, but it's spelled like WAFFELHAUS.
I would love that.
I'm gonna open this now. This is my dream. This is my business plan. And everyone there has to wear lederhosen and dirndls. Shane H. Wilder said, I literally have a 50s style diner. It was built in the 50s down the road. I'll say the food there looks nicer than the mid food in the Swedes photo. Yeah, well, I mean, given that she's Swedish, she already has low standards for food, so I wasn't surprised by that. Shane H. Wilder said, glad they like our dining or culture, but I don't give an F about their sport. Now, if the Rugby World Cup came here, that would be a different story.
That is another thing that they kind of use to dunk on Americans, is that Americans care a lot about football and the rest of the world cares about soccer. Therefore, more people watch soccer. Therefore, America fail.
I haven't been wrong this whole time. The World Cup is soccer, right?
Yes.
Okay. Shane H. Wilder said they could literally visit Round Top, Texas, population 87, which has the smallest Catholic church in the world, St. Martin's. No AC, so they would feel at home. I didn't know about that. Now I want to visit it sometime.
There you go.
Cool. Who cares what the British think? They literally hated the Wilders so much that they threw us on the Mayflower to kick us out of the country. Is that the backstory? It's cool that you're a Mayflower American. Burned Oils said, I'm Brett's biggest fan, and he knows that.
Thank you for that.
Nice. Weary Traveler said, has Mary had the butterfly drink from Starbucks?
What is the butterfly drink?
I have not had the butterfly drink, and I don't know what it is, and I'm okay with not knowing what it is. Starbucks is just releasing new drinks that are some bullshit right now, and instead of coffee, and I don't get it. Like, the next round of limited edition beverages are basically just mixing a yogurt parfait with a matcha latte.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's slop. I just want coffee.
I love the guy who makes the video. It's like my job interview for Dunkin' Donuts, and he just dumps like an entire bag of sugar into a cup and then puts like 1 drop of cream and 1 drop of...
Well, they have like an automatic sugar dispenser in there. I've seen people record themselves making these insane drinks, and it's like literally half granular white sugar.
I can't do that stuff anymore. Like even today, like I drank like an 8-ounce Red Bull, and I'm like, if I get energy drinks, I get the ones that have no calories. You know, the ones that are 0 cal.
I always get the Gatorade Zero.
Yeah.
I literally live off of that stuff. Not that John Stewart said, sup, have a good weekend. You too.
Thank you.
I never know what to say to sup. Shane H. Wilder said, analphabetic means completely illiterate.
I love the idea of that. Like there could be whole television episodes around the idea of like waiting forever to finally use that in a sentence out in the real world.
Well, at least I didn't pronounce it wrong. Yeah. That would have been bad. Thank you for educating us, though.
When Tim did the segment on like the people not being able to read, it was literally the meme of me being like I hope he doesn't ask me to read something. Like, you know. If we got more, let's get through them quick because you got to get out of here at 5.
Yes.
So let me double
High
check.
Voltage 75 said today is National Peanut Butter Cookie Day. Where do they rank on your cookie tier list? It's interesting you say that because I had a bunch of the crumble flavors yesterday. I'm just going to warn anybody out there who even goes to crumble. The mango flavor is whack.
Doesn't sound good.
Not good. Where do peanut butter cookies rank on my cookie tier list? Definitely not number 1. It's chocolate chip first, and snickerdoodle, and peanut butter third. Shane H. Wilder said the Inquisition was a good thing. I stand by that. I will not comment any further.
Pop Culture
Junkie said, instead of a table, have a diner booth in my apartment.
Nice.
That's awesome. I love that. Award-winning blank said, false. I am Brett's biggest fan.
There you are.
It's not a competition. There's plenty of love to go round. Boston said, my family came over on the first 3 boats also.
Impressive.
That's awesome, guys. I don't know that much about my ancestry.
Me neither. All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already, both on YouTube and on Rumble. As I said before, we are getting close to 50,000 subscribers over on Rumble. Also, if you haven't yet, I did a video that's a little bit different from my typical format, talking about how you can choose the right streaming service. You know, in an age where the price has gone up 50%, over the last 6 years. I just gave you some questions you can ask yourself about what it is you want from a streaming service. Therefore, you can choose the one for you. So you should go and check that out.
And you know you're hearing it from the expert in this field, obviously. But I just used Tubi with no ads.
I've been actually watching Tubi lately. Like, they've added a couple of shows lately that I've wanted to watch. So, all right, Mary, where can they find you?
You guys can send me validation on Instagram. That is Mary Archived. Or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived. And to help me get TikTok famous, that is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. If you want to follow me, I am on Instagram and on X, guys, at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. PCC is live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than just watch the show, you can also rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. It's a great way to help the channel out. If you want to follow us on social media, we're on Twix at @popculture_show, Facebook at @popculturecrisis, Instagram at @popculturecrisispod. Guys, we will be back with another episode on Monday, and special guest on Tuesday will be Vera Dark. So stay tuned for all of that. We will see you guys Monday. Later.
Bye.